Welcome. This is Charlie from CIC News for You. Conservatives informing conservatives with summary news. This episode of News for You is from very recent news events and comments by what I call the unfantastic four of Congress. That is Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Minority Leader of the Senate Chuck Schumer, and add in Adam Schiff, the false news speaker of the left, and now we have Clyburn, the member that wants to implement far left ideology while the people are down. These folks that I call the Unfantastic Four are the real danger for the upcoming elections, and they will do whatever it takes to bring down the sitting president, in my opinion. Don't kid yourself in thinking that the failure of the Mueller investigation or the failed impeachment hearings have halted the hate from the liberal left. They are now in full mode trying to destroy moderate and conservatives throughout the United States. It is so bad they even attack their own if they say anything good about the actions of the president, as recently reported about two Democrats in the news. We need to stand up and inform others. We need to know what they are doing because the biased media will not let us know. A perfect example is of the non-reporting on the sexual harassment charges from a previous worker of Joe Biden. There are facts that need explaining, yet no one questions the Biden campaign. What happened to the vigor of the Supreme Court hearings where sex was the main theme every day? The media is not of the people anymore. They are of and in full support of the liberal left. It is outrageous that our freedom of speech is being violated by the professionals that are supposed to uphold freedom of speech. Those days are long gone, in my opinion. So, what are the Unfantastic Four doing? Recently, Nancy Pelosi publicly stated she opposes allowing the House chamber to vote remotely, even during this crisis. At first glance, this seems to be appropriate, but I'm not exactly sure on what grounds or even if there were circumstances to overcome. I'm sure our elected officials could overcome the circumstances if they wished. Pelosi's comment was very party-centric in my thoughts. The Republicans had some members out in the Senate, and this provided a slight advantage to voting for the Democrats. So in true form, remote voting did not fit their agenda, at least in my opinion. Pelosi went on to state she had concerns about remote voting and technology security issues. Maybe she has a point, and maybe not. What about people working remotely to get Social Security benefits? What about banks and transferring money? What about secure phones and special secure rooms for top secret conversations in Congress? What about all the conference calls she's holding now? She may have a point from 20 years ago, but not in today's world. And yet Pelosi has the nerve to say she does not trust the security of members voting remotely. Her real reasons? She won't state publicly, but in my opinion, it is solely because in some way it is disadvantageous to the Democrats. Now let's go to another comment that Nancy Pelosi made and see if we have a bit of a conflict from her statements. And remember, both of these statements are recent, so it is not a historic, forgotten moment. But anyway, her latest statement is about fully supporting mail-in voting, which she is pushing to get into one of the coronavirus bills. For mail-in voting, she is not worried about security, and is using the COVID-19 as her leverage for a way to impact the 2020 presidential elections. Funny though, the Democrats have been pushing a narrative over the last 3 years that Trump interfered in the last election, with no proof, of course. But day by day, we are getting proof that the Democrats are trying to interfere in the upcoming elections. It is all about power for the party and taking Trump down. What happened to the party of the people? In my opinion, that party has been long gone. Now, let's just quickly cover a few issues with mail-in ballots. How do you verify the voter? How do you verify the mail-in ballot? Who will validate the voter was the one that mailed the ballot? What if people move from registration time to election time? How do you handle the additional workload of voting committees that now have to manually enter votes? What about ballot harvesting? Who would check the inputs of some of these records to ensure an operative on either side did not add fraud to the process? This is a nightmare of potential fraud. But, I don't believe the progressives care because they believe no matter what, this will be in their favor. And they are most likely correct. I think it would be in their favor. We simply cannot allow this to happen. Now, add in her co conspirators, Chuck Schumer, who is a yes man to anything Pelosi says, and James Clyburn, the new man on the street, stating it is time to take advantage of the people's situation. And then on top of this, these individuals throw in Adam Schiff, the liar in chief, and you have a full team. The Unfantastic Four, as I call them. All are attempting to take a sitting president down. That's outrageous. Now let's discuss Schumer. Per Politico, Schumer and the Democrats have learned they have a go-to play, and that play is blocking coronavirus aid until they get what they want. And they're taking full advantage of the crisis. This should upset everyone for a couple reasons. First, this should be all about the coronavirus, not pet projects. Second, the Senate and House Democrats are not even standing up for the people, but following the party like a bunch of lemons. Lemons that all need to be voted out in the upcoming elections, in my opinion. And what about Jim Clyburn? He stated this is a great time to take advantage and get what we want and get approval for some of our party's ideology. This is not the time for ideology, but it is a time to put the people first over party and ideology. What about the people, Mr. Clyburn? What about the people? Finally, the behind-the-scenes Democrat that is continuing his efforts to impeach his president is Adam Schiff. Yeah, the same Adam Schiff that stood on stage and publicly lied to the people of the United States. And the sad part is that Congress can legally lie and are protected by law. Now that is an issue all of us should be concerned with. If you can't believe what congressional members are saying, how can you know the truth? This is really concerning to me. So there you have it, the Unfantastic Four. Now, on top of all of what I've covered, we have the Democrats creating oversight committees on top of oversight committees for what they say is to track the money. That is nothing but another diversion because I believe they are setting up the 2020 elections and potentially bringing up another set of impeachment hearings. The Unfantastic Four will do whatever it takes to stop the re-election of Donald J. Trump. Wait and see. The news will start trickling out soon on various spending items from the bill. With over $2 trillion being handed out to people and programs, you can bet there will be some questionable payments to companies such as the recent identification of payments to Harvard University. Adam Schiff and the Democrats are setting traps for gathering any type of information they can to use in the 2020 elections. You can bet the Democrats will blame every misspent dollar on Trump. And of course, the biased news media will follow along like puppets. It is disgraceful that our country has come to this, and I blame the liberal left progressives that the majority of Americans disagree with. The additional committee creation forced by the Democrats are an additional to 8 other committees, which I believe I heard on the news. Why did the Democrats add one more? You can bet this committee will be used by the Democrats as a re-election team to find items to hurt Trump in the elections. Look for items to start trickling out, as I said, from Adam Schiff. Too bad, I actually enjoyed not seeing him lately, but I guess all things must pass. To end this up, I'm concerned about 2020 election voter fraud if the Democrats get their way. We, the people, need to be aware of everything that the liberal progressives are doing, both in the news and behind the scenes. They are attacking us, the people, while we are down and out and not paying attention because we are more concerned with our health and feeding our families. It is underhanded for the liberals to take advantage at this time, and they need to be held in check. Don't believe everything you hear or see because the media is biased. Do your research, review the facts, check multiple sources, and then decide your opinion. Check me out also, because I try to base everything I have on facts. Of course, some of the things I'm saying are my conservative point of view, but I'm not trying to lie about anything. Do not be a lemon like the House Democratic Party. Know the details so you can stand up for what's right. Alright, I think that's enough for today. Have a great day. Be informed and safe. Signing off, Charlie.